Okay, so this is Modcast number 5. I will be your host, Dusty. And in the red corner, we have Ron. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Ron. I'm playing Fortnite.
Oh my god.
You know when I did the whole counting to 10 thing? That was so I could get your levels, not so you could then scream in the microphone 10 seconds later.
My bad.
Okay, from up north, we've got Locke.
Hey.
And I don't even know where Bryn is, but Bryn's here.
Yep. I'm along for the ride.
In the dirty Midlands.
I'm not in the Midlands, I'm in Lancashire.
Oh, that's worse.
The Northwest.
That's definitely not the
No,
Midlands.
it's not.
It's worse.
It's like Blackburn.
I mean, I'd rather have a Lancashire accent than a Brummie accent, and I don't have either, so we're alright.
Oh god, isn't Mango from living in Brummie at the moment?
Yeah,
Yes, he
he's
is.
from Birmingham. Ugh.
Disappointment.
Okay, so the first serious question that we got that wasn't about cannibalism, eating alligators on live stream, and anything else like that was, or canal building. Okay, which one was it? How hard did Mern curb stomp Visenya and her dragon?
Oh, it's alright, I got that one. Just go back to the document I made, and the artwork. It may look very familiar, but for 6.0, that's Mern Gardner, not Jaime Lannister.
Oh, and he actually does it.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't get speared by Bronn.
See, the thing is that is Mern on the horse. However, in his hand is not just some sword that he has. It's actually Visenya's sword that he had picked up.
And
He
slayed
used-
the dragon.
He used his Dark Sister to slay the Vagar. Vagar.
Vagar.
Vagar. Leviosa.
Like, I enjoy how much the gardeners do in the Field of Valor, and the Lannisters are just kind of sat there, just like, oh, that's nice. You guys did all right.
See, they pulled their weight, but not as much as the Gardeners.
Just kind of went home. We're just like, no, we didn't get any Valyrian steel.
Yeah. But on the plus side, they didn't burn to death. So, on the whole, congrats.
Technical win for the Lannisters there.
No, it is a win. They just don't win as hard as the Gardeners. Like, yeah.
Right. Next question.
There's a question from Bonnie there. Are there canal building mechanics? And I'm just going to get this section out the way. Yes, there are. Part of my magic mechanics. It's a 1d40, and then every like the higher the number, the longer the canal, and then you have to roll one of them every day, and then eventually, once you get hit if you manage to get 2,000 over all these rolls, you can build a canal that's 2 kilometers long.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So each point is a meter, basically.
I'm just gonna say it right now, he is full of shit.
Ben will be most pleased.
No, I'm investing heavily in these canal building mechanics.
That's triggering me. Just hearing those, I'm triggered wholly.
I can hear Ben shaking all the way,
All the way from Chicago.
all the way from Chicago. Anyway, what's up next?
The next question is: will the kingdom of Effekravon be a thing in 6.0?
Now, I just googled this, and apparently the kingdom of Effekravon is actually a legitimate thing.
Yes, it is,
in
and
the forested region of Northern Essos.
And I'm 90% sure
That's a
it
mango
is
question.
I've been working with him on the kind of Sarn or Great Grass Sea side of it.
We have his apprentice with us.
Yeah, and I
Mango
believe
the lesser.
I'm 99% certain that kingdom will be in 6.0.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Unless I'm
no.
imagining things.
But the word Ifequevron means woodwalkers in the Dothraki language.
Yeah, so it'll be, yeah.
I
So
wonder if it'll be called the same.
no, it won't. Most of the names of the Dothraki places that they took over will be renamed with more law-friendly names, depending on who's ruling them, whether it be Son or the Ibonese or the Giscari.
Here's hoping they name it something easier to pronounce. Ooh.
The next question is light or dark tease when?
I mean, we did already tease this,
Yeah.
and then heavily labeled it with, "This is a long way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it."
Oh.
Oh, no,
No, that's
Oh,
not.
no.
That's not
Bryn.
working.
we've lost Bryn.
Oh man. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So light or dark. That's not going to really be worked on too heavily as we're working on 6.0. Once 6.0 kicks off, and once we're on a steady pace of dealing with all the edgelords who want to app their edge characters at the beginning, then we'll look into working more harder on light or dark.
Yeah, with the team made up like mostly of ITRP mods,
Or BSRP mods.
and all BSRP mods, we set out pretty early that it was always going to be like on the back burner.
Yeah.
And it will remain as such as we pour all of our time and energy
But it is
into
there, and
6.0.
it is there, and it will happen. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind, because all the foundations there. It's just building everything onto like the skeleton and putting on the flesh.
Yeah, it's a completely different game, and we've got a whole new universe to play with.
It's going to be fun, to say the least. And Bryn Mike is still fucked.
Okay.
You sound like you're trying to escape your microphone.
He's trying to invade us.
Okay, the next question is from our resident wholesome man, Andre Jamango. Will there be rules for 6.0 kings for setting up their potential small councils, or whatever else they'll be called, or can each do as they please? So I think he's asking if there's going to be like an application process similar to 5.0.
Well, since there's going to be so many different kingdoms, you're going to have the reign to do what you please for your own. There'll be your characters to hand out as you please.
Some characters, like some kingdoms might have they probably will have a council that might draw inspiration from the small council, but no one's going to be shoehorned into having all like the Master of Coin, Master of Whisperers, that kind of layout.
For example, Click and I are going to be in the Westlands, and might as well get this out of the way now. Playing King Lannister, and I'll be playing Lord of Lannisport, and we've decided that I'll be playing the Sentinel, which is the Westerlands equivalent to the Hand of the King or the Voice of the King or whatever. And so you can really come up with your own names for the own positions, and they don't have to be the same positions as a small council.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
We're looking at having a lot more player-driven choices with the split kingdoms. All the kings can rock it how they want to rock it.
Yep.
Next question is, when do we get to hear Pichu's voice again? Not tonight.
Not tonight, apparently.
Look forward to Modcast 6.
Which, if it's as far away as Modcast 5 was from Modcast 4,
Next year.
you might start waiting for 7.0.
No, Winds of Winter will come before that.
Ooh.
Okay. What would be considered the ending point for 5.0?
When Mango reigns over all, he
Well,
rules the seas and the skies.
at the moment for Westeros, we're looking at the Riverlands rebellion to calm down, and also Prince Arian's rebellion. We're going to see what happens with that. And really, after that, there's really not much left. I mean, besides maybe some stuff in Dorne. Who cares about Dorne? And Yeti is slowly making their way across Essos, so we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
We've arrived at Slaver's Bay, but but yeah, we're still working on the technicalities of the God Emperor's arrival.
But yeah, so at the ending point for 5.0 is going to be most, if not all, of the conflicts resolved.
Yeah, so could be another few years yet.
Yeah, so when we get a quiet period, that'll be it. Okay. No, stupid question. Whatever happened to Click's Red Priest? Was she sucked into the fifth dimension? Yes.
She was sucked into inactivity. That's what she was.
I mean, her story died when Vogan died. That's the honest. Which is a big shame. Okay, here's a serious question from Gam out of all 6 that he's posted. What is the scenario that you want to see the most in future iterations besides 6.0?
That's a good question. Dusty, I think you should start.
Come
on, give us all your edge.
What?
What's the edgiest scenario?
Edgiest scenario is Peter Baelish getting on the Iron Throne.
See,
which is Sneak.
That like cut me.
Sneak has just got really excited in White Sword Tower because we were talking about it the other day. And so's Tapeworm. If not that, I don't know. I mean, in general, and I know it's going to be obvious because you've already told me to say the edgiest thing, but something where it's not a happy scenario. Right. Something that's
like a bit of a fuck your feelings.
A bit of a fuck your feelings, but it's set up so that people aren't happy. Like, I think the unhappier that characters are at the beginning, the more chance that we have for conflict. Because we've had this. I mean, there was conflict set up for 5.0, but people didn't take advantage of it. So maybe it's a case of we have to push that a step further and make people not even set up with conflict with burning hatreds for each other or for the king himself. So that's my answer. Something with a lot more disappointment and edge.
Yeah,
no, I could see that working. Like a one where, we look at a bit further down the line of Roose Bolton being Lord Paramount of the North. Like people are going to be absolutely fuming.
Yeah, we need to give people a reason to go in going, I'm going to kill this person, I'm going to overthrow this person, and I don't care what happens.
See, that's if Clicks 0.0 was not a thing, if the Great Game was not proposed and Jason could not come up with a good idea, fuck your feelings would have most definitely won. And in case we use the scenario in the future, I won't go too in-depth into it, but Ben's idea for that scenario was going to be basically, to summarize it, it's fuck your feelings. Your feelings will be fucked royally. And I would have loved to see that. Joffrey winning. Joffrey staying alive. Joffrey sitting as king over his cunt kingdom. That'd be perfect.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign.
Whereas the scenario that I proposed, which I've thrown around a lot, it's still there. People always forget about the Mace Tyrell victory. the great surprise.
There's a reason people forget about that.
There is. It's because people don't want to believe that it could happen. No one believed in Miss Tyrell. But I could talk for a few years about Miss Tyrell victory, Miss the Ace.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, didn't
We'll save that for 7.0.
Didn't we have a Mad King scenario before? Was it Viserys that was
sort of. Viserys kind of went mad only because he was going senile in 3.0. 1.0 was Daenerys being queen the entire time until she died. What was 2.0? 2.0 was the
2.0
fucking
was the
nasty two kingdoms, and that wasn't really a Mad King thing. 3.0, as just said. 4.0, no Mad. We haven't really done a Mad King thing besides Melee's.
Yeah, I mean, like, going back, we've never done a different outcome of the rebellion, have we?
No, that was one of the other proposals. I think, was it Kyle's proposal for the alternative Rhaegar win or something?
Ooh.
Yeah,
No,
Rhaegar
someone.
scenario.
Yeah.
I have a
Someone
Rhaegar
definitely
lose.
had like a Rhaegar win. A Rhaegar lose scenario.
Yeah.
I really would like to see that as well. But if you really think about it, we've done a lot of Targaryen starts, and what really would be different with a Rhaegar win besides him being on the throne? I mean, everything will still start at the same unless we craft some conflicts in between. Like, there wouldn't really be sub conflict.
Yeah.
It's like starting with either a Targaryen or a Baratheon on the throne
Yeah, exactly.
has been done a fair few times already.
Which is why we changed it to Blackfire.
Yeah, we've taken it one step with 5.0, and we're going whole hog for 6.0.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We couldn't decide on Targaryen, Baratheon, Blackfire, so we just said fuck it, all of them kings.
Well,
Every man a king.
I mean,
Every man a king.
I think provided that the Targaryens stay out of Westeros in 6.0, which I think that they should, unless they suddenly sprout up a ridiculous army that can actually manage taking over Westeros, then I don't see why we can't have the Targaryens back on the throne in 7.0, because I think there'll be enough of a gap between it. But I get it.
I mean,
like
it's
Targaryens
not like the
as
Targaryens
kings
have
is
had a
just
big
bit
presence
dull.
this game.
Yeah.
One house. Rest in peace. One house that we have not seen on the throne is Lannister, and fuck your feelings would put that on there. So I think that would be interesting to see as well.
Yeah, there's a reason it was like the clear second choice, and even then it was close.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Next question is: are all the dragons dead in 6.0, or are they still kicking?
I'm pretty sure they're all dead.
Yeah.
You mean if they mean like the line of Aegon's dragons, all them three, yeah, they're toast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Essos the way it is, and Mango the man he is, I'm not gonna say that there's gonna be no dragons.
We'll have to see.
Never rule them out.
Okay. Which law from the world of 5.0 that what law from the world of 5.0 that never got used do you wish that had been used, and why do you think it never came into play?
That's a good question.
Oh,
Honestly, I really wish the whole Tully and Frey conflict started earlier, because that would have been a great kickoff to what could have formed into multiple different conflicts.
Yeah.
And especially the whole Reachman versus the West, that kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
the Riverlands dud, the Tyrell face plant.
See, the Riverlands
did tank it.
It was a big point of contention, which is why we had, what was it, 3 houses considered major to app for in the Riverlands, I think it was. Frey and Tully and someone else.
Bitter still. Well,
yeah.
apart from Bitter still.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was just Tully and Frey, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I think it may have been Tully, Frey, and yeah.
But Bitter still was
still,
supposed to
we
die,
have-
wasn't he?
Because they were claimants to the Riverlands, and Bittersteel didn't really have a solid claim, so they could have really had a solid rebellion kick up earlier, but unfortunately, it did not.
best laid plans and all that.
Of course.
So yeah, Riverlands didn't really start.
And also,
North versus the
the
Bear
whole-
as well.
I know this is like kind of kicking a dead horse or whatever, but the whole Targaryen plot. I mean, I know Maekar died unfortunately, and I know we like to make a joke out of it, but sincerely, that would have been a great plot to see them take over basically Essos and create the Kingdom of New Valyria or something.
Yeah. That was.
We were close. We were close.
Yeah. Close doesn't really count in this situation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Nice effort.
Not to get into it too much. I had a lot of stuff cooking.
I'll
But
give you a C for effort.
yeah. Kind of like one of those things where you ace the entrance exam, and then you just get in and don't even make it halfway through the first term.
Exactly.
That's kind of tank. One thing is the sisters. It's like the sisters were meant to be a big thing between the North and the Vale, in the fact that they'd just been given to the North,
And
ripped
then-
away from the Vale.
And then they were ripped away from the North and given back to the Vale.
And all along, yeah,
and nothing came of it.
nothing came of it, because just as that happened, poor Lord Sunderland rolled bad on his sickly roll and died.
He was a great writer though. That character was great. I was really sad when he dropped off the face of the earth.
We had a few like that. Rickon Stark,
Yeah.
he was on his way. He was on his way to the Night's Watch, ready to save the Wall. He just kind of disappeared.
Just disappeared.
And speaking of things that could have been touched upon more though, like the Night's Watch, this game, the Wall and Beyond plotline.
Yeah, thanks,
I kind
Captain.
of fizzled when the king got killed.
The Raven, well, the Raven Watch didn't really get going at all,
Yeah.
and we tanked hilariously. So in 6.0, we're hearing that Bryn has big plans.
Yeah, Beyond the Walls can be
Very
great.
But don't forget, it's DLC.
Yeah.
Ideally paid for DLC. We accept PayPal.
Okay, the next question I don't think we can answer too much about, but maybe we can touch on it without giving it away.
What is it?
Has there been any major changes in the borders of the Free Cities, and are there any new kingdoms around Eastern Essos?
I cannot answer that. I don't know.
Yes, the borders have changed.
Yeah.
Yep, it's gonna be a different field of play to how 5.0 was. It's gonna be a different field of play to how Essos has been in general before. It's gonna be a cool new experience. Mango, Dusty working really hard on it, along with all the rest of us when we get a chance. So just hype that shit up.
As far as the Eastern Essos goes, the main one is obviously the Kingdom of Sarnor, which has come back into existence, or well, at least come back into prominence. And that's all I'll say for now, but watch this space.
That's the motto for Essos at the moment.
Yeah, next question.
What are the policies of the Dragon Party? Are they pro-war or pro-peace?
I don't know. I mean,
They are pro-dragon, and by that we mean that we don't want to set anything in stone. It's going to be up to our Dragon Party player.
yeah, my headcanon right now is saying that they are pro-peace through war. That's what I'm saying in my head. I don't really see that.
I imagine they kind of want to toe a different line to both the tigers and the elephants.
Yeah.
Rather than ending up being just
Yeah.
a rebrand one.
I don't expect them to try and take over Volantis as kings or anything, but potentially try and use their position to expand aggressively and improve their position through like the popular vote, I guess. If that makes
Well,
sense.
you know, if you have, Dragon Lord Daenold Targaryen, he would want to make Volantis great again and build upon the Black Wall. Make the Giscari pay for it. Thanks to Stag for that.
Oh god, I mean, this harks back to 4.0 where we had, what is it, Donald Trant,
Yeah.
the first builder of the wall.
Dale the Whale. Christ.
Oh.
Right. Did the Gardeners ever rename Dark Sister?
Yes, they did. They renamed it to whatever the Gardener player wants it to be. However, at the moment, we have it renamed to Thorn.
Which I think is a great name.
I think it's great.
If you come up with a better name, it better be better.
Yeah, better be better. Great logic.
It's basically, it's Thorn, but if the Gardener player suggests a better name, we could be inclined to say that was what we said it was all along.
Exactly. And like this part of the modcast will be wiped out. Take note of that.
It'll disappear.
Yeah. Remember it while it lasts.
This is a good question. Why is Click bad at Fortnite?
Well,
he's blind.
He's better than me.
Well, he's better than you.
Oh my god, yeah. Every time I play with him, I'm the first one to die, and he's always end up picking up my shit. So, yeah, he's bad because he's Click, and the Click of content gets in the way. You know, it's hard to play when you have that thing down there.
He does struggle to see. Like, whenever I have to play with him, I'm always the one looking on the horizon because he literally can't see.
It's a legitimate problem.
Yeah.
And please send all of your thoughts and prayers to Jason.
But he's a very good player, and he actually gives a lot of emotional support when you're playing as well.
It's honestly amazing. Although not to me, he berates me. He berates me like the bad boy I am.
Just in time for Captain. Are there any major changes to dual threshold caps numbers coming in 6.0?
We're banning Lynn Lonmouth from ever existing.
Well,
we're putting a flat block on the existence of the character, effective immediately.
Well, at the moment, for real, we don't have anything set in stone. We still, near the end of May, we're going to be voting on all of our skill proposal changes and all that, which we have at this point, I think nearly 11 pages of skill changes and stuff ready for 6.0. But we want to cap the dual threshold so people don't get too powerful, because reality, even if you're the greatest swordsman, you'll miss once, maybe. Who knows? But having a 1% chance to miss is not realistic. But thresh caps probably be a thing, maybe 90 or so. And
yeah, it's still going to be high, but not crazy high.
Not exactly.
And we're also on that end. We are trying to look at how being a really good duelist shouldn't have such as huge an impact on battles as it does at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. And with the changes to the different martial skills and gifts that we have coming up, the thresholds will change around a little bit. Like we have a change to strong and towering, which strong and towering mixed with two hands and shields is going to be quite an incredible combination, to say the least.
Of course, it's if someone wants to put the time into it, the investment of all then we're trying to reward that approach.
Yes. Yep. But two-handers and shields are going to be a thing if you can manage to get to that point.
Bonnie will be very excited.
I'm sure as soon as we release the skill system, Bonnie will be planning out the exact optimal build. But have to keep waiting for that.
And an additional question is, are we going to see more negatives introduced since deformity and a few others are being removed or altered?
Let me get my skill doc up. Let's see.
I don't think so.
No. I don't think we're going to be putting any new negatives in, actually. Because I think we're trying to shy away from negatives, honestly.
Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. The negatives are meant to be there for someone who's like picked a really handicapped character.
Yeah.
To have like at least some kind of layoff.
Negatives are there to make an imperfect character not to be taken, so that you can create a more perfect character. So maybe that's a very polite way of saying it's you don't min-max.
Exactly.
Yeah, we took out a few in 4.0. We're taking out a few in 5.0 at the end of 5.0. I think. Yeah.
So pretty much we're removing deformity, and we have adjustments to 1, 2, 3, 4 other negatives at the moment, which I won't say yet because we haven't really voted on them. Now, are we good to move on to the next question? Because I actually see a good question I want to answer.
The next one.
Yeah, from Buck.
Oh yes, yep. What house is in the best? What's the best house in the best position?
Starting at the beginning of 5 or 6.0 rather, I think the best house in the best position will be House Durandon of the Stormlands. They, I'm not gonna tell you why, but they're in a pretty good position. They're pretty much all unified, and just think 1939 Germany.
They've done well for themselves in the recent events, like the lead up to the start of 6.0. Like, you'll see that like some people have had a bad time, and yeah, Durandon's had a pretty good time.
Yep, but just as Nazi Germany, you have to really be careful who you pick as your leaders and what your decisions are, because they can really lead to your downfall quickly.
Of course, if you're on the top, then you're everyone's target.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting.
Always going to be interesting. All right, what we got up next?
Have any of the smaller towns in the Riverlands, Crownlands, Stormlands risen in size to become cities now that there isn't a big capital or central power denying characters? So I guess basically has anything become bigger as a result of there not being...
The lack of King's Landing.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Obviously, with the rise of the Dusklands, Duskendale is going to be a lot bigger in terms of a city. It was already pretty big to start with, but
it's not King's Landing level, but still pretty big.
It's not King's Landing, but it's now the capital of its own kingdom.
Yeah. So how many was the population of King's Landing in book canon?
1 million.
That was book canon or show canon?
Book canon is 500,000.
All right, so I was actually thinking that Duskendale would be more like 250, 300,000 people.
Yeah, I thought, George is well known for just throwing around numbers. Yeah. But even still, Duskendale, very big.
Duskendale, we have, I believe, Maidenpools, maybe increasing a little bit. Gulltown, definitely. White Harbor, because of Bravo Sea Trade and all that. Pretty much all the coastal cities have been given a little boost.
Yeah, all along that entire border. I think even the Claw might get a little bit of love. Not much, of course, but a little bit, just enough.
Especially Claw Isle. They can't really expand too much, of course, but definitely down into the Stormlands. You have what was that one town?
Oh, you mean Weeping Town?
Weeping Town is Weeping City now.
See, there we are. Development.
Yeah. Development.
Starfall is a castle, not a town, Dane. So that makes no sense, does it? Out of that context. Okay, next question is... Considering the situation in Dawn, does Vulture's Roost have a house, or is it a ruin just like every other iteration?
We have actually toyed around with the idea of landing someone in Vulture's Roost.
Have we?
It's been thrown around,
Oh.
but
It'll be
who
interesting.
it is and if it is,
Well, due to the changes in the kingdoms and everything, they would be placed in the Kingdom of the Green Belt under House. I don't want to fuck it up. Wood. They'd be placed under Wood as a vassal, but we don't know if we want to really do that.
yeah, it's an option. It's a sign that we're still working out the finer details.
We're trying to strike a balance between the three Dornish kingdoms, and we haven't really come to a solid balance as of yet.
But it's definitely going to be a region that you want to keep your eyes on right out the gate.
And there's another ruin that will be taken as well.
Yes, and that will be revealed in a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we have a nice juicy one lined up for there. So give us your best guess as to which ruin will be occupied.
Okay. Oh, this is a good question, and it's got nothing to do with anything. Well, yeah. No, that makes it sound worse than it is. It means it's got nothing to do with the actual game itself. How did you guys discover ITRP? Genuinely curious. We did all come from somewhere, after all.
Do you want to start that one off, Ron?
Sure. Yeah. I found ITRP through an advertisement posted by Bryn. That was in the CK2 Game of Thrones subreddit. He posted that. Yep. I think pretty much everyone came from there. But
Yep, that's what I'm about to say.
Yep. I joined from there. It was, I think, early November of 2014, which is it's gonna be 4 years now. It's crazy. And yeah, I've been going strong since then, except for 3.0. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, that's actually the exact same origin story as I have. I found it on the Crusader Kings 2 subreddit. Joined through there, played in 2.0 for a little bit, and then thought, you know what? I've got other important things going on IRL. I'll take a break. Then I came back about a year later. Stuck around this time.
Thankfully. What about you, Dusty, Edgelord Supreme? Tell us.
I found the game not like you guys. I was going for a period where I was desperately searching for a good Game of Thrones game, whether it was PlayStation, mod, PC, whatever. Like I'd played CK2, I'd played what's it called, Mountain Warband. Like I'd played every single possible mod that there was out there, and it was all boring or dull, or it just didn't really last. Like I just got bored after a month or so. So then as usual, I went about Googling, trying to find good Game of Thrones role-playing games, and then I came across one on Reddit. And I'd always been on Reddit. I've been on Reddit for like 4 years. Well, no, more than that actually. And then I stumbled across like RP games on here, and I read some of them. I thought, okay, maybe this is worth giving a go. So I found like all the major ones, and I think it was still Game of Thrones Powers at the time. Game of Thrones Powers. I think there was World of Ice and Fire RP. Maybe another one, and then I found ITRP, and I settled on ITRP because I really like the layout, and that's the sole reason why I'm here.
Nice. Nice story.
But yeah, I've never this is the first time I've done like any RP or anything like that. I'd never even considered doing it before, and then it was purely out of my nerdy love for Game of Thrones and desire to actually play again. And as far as games go, it's the longest game I've ever played.
Same here.
Yep, same here. Not by much, but yes.
But I mean, considering like this has gone on for almost a year. I don't think I play like a PlayStation game for more than like 3 or 4 months before I flog it off or just stop playing it.
Yep.
Same.
You know,
Definitely like the longest you're playing like one single run of a game.
Yeah.
Like,
And
when you think about it, this is like just one run through.
Yeah. And you play what 3-4 times a week, maybe more. I mean, I'm borderline obsessed.
Maybe less.
There's like there isn't a single day where I don't at least look on the ITRP Reddit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um,
live on the subreddit, live in the Discord.
Next question is: with the restoration of many different pieces of Valyrian steel, are there going to be any pieces of Valyrian steel armor in Westeros? Yes.
That deserves a one-word answer. Yes.
And what bonuses would they give? That is a good question.
We
actually.
do not know yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we did have bonuses laid out in 5.0.
Yeah.
I do believe it was talked about. I'm not sure if they'll stay the same. But
Well,
But it's not.
we've got some stuff in the works that might be able to combine with Valyrian steel things. So we'll see.
Yeah. Because the one thing to note is that in 5.0, it was a full set of Valyrian steel armor that we were talking about, whereas in this one, it's the ones that we've got aren't full sets.
No, they're just pieces.
Yeah.
there was pieces in 5.0. I remember we have what is it, Stagon's gauntlets.
Yeah, and they gave a plus
Stick
one.
around.
I think they counted as a weapon. I think.
Yeah, I think it was a wound or something of similar effect. But long story short, yes.
Oh god, they're all coming in now. Right. Okay, got that. Seconding the magic teasers, no. Ask Bryn. What's your favourite food besides pizza and burgers?
Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkshire puddings. gravy or jam.
Jam? Are
Yeah.
you mad?
No.
Okay, we're stopping the modcast right here.
Excuse me.
Hold on. For us,
My
for
granddad's
us
from
uncultured
Yorkshire.
Swines, for us uncultured swines, what the fuck is Yorkshire pudding?
Oh my. It is true beauty. True beauty in a dish. I can't even. I'm trying to find a picture.
I'll bring up a picture of a Yorkshire pudding at this point.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a huge link title. That's not gonna work.
Okay, it's not. Come on, how hard is it to find a Yorkshire pudding?
I clicked on one and then it wouldn't let me copy paste it. There we go. That is
That's
the
bread.
best. It's not bread. It's kind of like it's batter.
Yeah.
It's all made out of batter.
Right, and what are pancakes made out of?
The same thing.
Exactly. So that's why you can have Yorkshire pudding with jam.
Well, yeah.
Interesting.
If you haven't tried it, then you should. My granddad used to do it, and he's from Rotherham, so there.
That does Rotherham. Still pretty southern. Grumble, grumble. But yeah, no. Yorkshire puddings are the best thing. I buy them by the bag and eat them by the bag.
Yeah, they're the best part of the Sunday roast.
So sometimes I wonder why I'm putting on weight. Then I think of these little guys and I go, I'll buy them the bag.
Two or three.
4.
With a
He
roast.
says stuffing his mouth with another Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, please. I wish I had any Yorkshire puddings in.
Right. What's your... I've done that. Favourite food. Next question. Extending off of... No, we're not talking about any magic teasers this evening, sadly, because Bryn is not got his microphone working, and we don't want to take that away from him.
We don't want to force Bryn to unmute and unleash the robotic plague upon us all.
Yeah. Right. With shipbuilding being nerfed to take over multiple turns... Hold on. With shipbuilding being nerfed to take over multiple turns, will different types of ships take longer? And will combat be balanced around how losing a major portion of your navy in one battle will destroy multiple moons of effort?
Well, I think at the moment, if you really have to think about it, ship battles will still. I mean, any sort of battles will lose many people, many ships, all that stuff. So either way, you're going to lose a certain amount of effort that you put into it. However, I think as we did with land battles, we will probably be adjusting the casualty rate for ship battles as well.
It's definitely something that we're going to be keeping an eye on with all the changes that are coming in. I'm not sure how much have we talked about the changes to shipbuilding mechanics.
Not much. It's been
That's
all
pathetic.
Ben
I think
creating it.
isn't it under lock and key at
Yeah.
the moment? I've not seen anything.
I thought it was
There's a doc on our list of documents, but it hasn't really been worked on too much lately. So we'll get on Ben's case about that, and we'll put your input into it one shot.
Do we have a set percentage of troop replenishment per moon? Not per moon.
Not
Because that would be
at
silly.
the moment. Yeah, it's not per moon.
Replenishment is definitely there.
Yeah, we haven't set it as a set in stone percentage at the moment. It's not going to be per moon. It's going to be per quarter. So every 4 moons or every 2 out of character months. That's what it's going to be. We haven't set a percentage. It's probably going to be around 5%, and there will be gifts, and I believe maybe some skills. I don't think skills, but also the economy system will come into play with replenishment as well.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're literally waiting for young people to come of age to actually wield a sword for you. So doing it every moon is just unrealistic.
Exactly.
Yeah, although we do take the point that not having it at all is equally unrealistic.
And they will also be rounded as well, so no more odd numbers.
Yeah.
Odd numbers are the bane of most of our lives.
Yeah.
And
No more 2,342 troops.
yeah, I think it's also like a reason that we might touch upon plague mechanics and how exactly they interact with trying not to give people odd numbers. Because I've just played Dawn again, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alright.
I love how like Dawn has got the plague like 4 times, and the North has not had even. The North hasn't had a plague. It hasn't had a famine. Nothing's happened in the North apart from Rickon Stark.
Yeah, the Westerosi events, just like the play base in general, have ignored the North
Yeah.
for a good long while now. You never know. Maybe this coming moon's their lucky moon. Maybe they'll get so lucky that they get a plague of their own.
No. With so many mods on the Essos team, who will roll the inevitable battle between them and Essos? What?
I think this is because all of us apped those ETS generals.
I see.
And I feel like something that needs to be made clear of is that if you're facing multiple of those in one battle, you're in for a real bad time. That's what I'm gonna say. So there's ever a case where like there's multiple Zhang Juns facing you down.
And I think
It's gonna be rolling those sweet D2s.
I think it's important to remember as well is that you can't rig battle rolls. Like everyone's watching, the mods are watching, everyone's watching, and anyone who's looked at the mechanics can see the rolls that are happening. There's complete transparency when these battle rolls are happening.
Yeah, of course. It's yeah.
If you see something that's fucked up in the rolls at all, not even just with the ET rolls or whatever, you have the permission of the mods to ping whoever's rolling it and say, hey, I think you fucked up this. And then we'll look over it, make sure we did or didn't, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's another key thing is that a big part of the battles is involving all sides. And if there's a few mods on one side, that doesn't mean that like we're only focusing on them. Like we want everyone
Yeah.
play an equal part in it.
I mean, I think a classic example would be when Locke rolled the naval battle between Lys and Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled that battle. I took part in that battle. I got maimed in that battle. As dice are fickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, it was a little finicky because, like, it was before Discord, really, so it doesn't really apply to now. But when we had IRC, there wasn't much transparency in that route. But really now we're pretty much, I mean, see-through at this point. There's not much that we hide besides, like, some administrative stuff.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. We've really tried to maintain of transparency. Oh jeez, the Taylor abuse hotline.
Okay, can we mod abuse Valyrian features into Westeros?
Why would you ask that question? Why would you repeat that? It's Bonnie. We don't care.
We don't care, but I need to put this down. No, we're getting rid of Valyrian features. No one gets them.
Yeah, see, in 6.0, there is no reason to have any Valyrians besides the Celtigars or maybe the Valyrians. But
Nah, get rid of it. The Celtigars are crab people now. They don't need Valyrian features. The sunglasses. Who cares about the sunglasses? They don't even have confirmed Valyrian features.
The only kingdom in 6.0 that will have Valyrian features and that will be allowed to have Valyrian features is the Claw. There is no reason for anyone else to have Valyrian features. Period.
I mean, I would possibly allow
No.
Dane to have a bit of edge.
Sure. No. Oh, well, Dane, okay. Give him fucking purple eyes. Nothing else.
Yeah. But no, beyond that, no, you ain't getting none.
Well.
Incoming edge.
Okay, moving on. How playable or invadable are the Summer Isles in 6.0? Do they have the potential for war?
Well, they're not a warring people.
No, there's only one clan that's warring, I think.
Yeah.
Which
it's
just so
gonna be the
happens
same,
to be the one
pretty
that
much.
someone's attacking at the moment.
Yeah. It's going to be the same as 5.0 pretty much. Not sure how much Mango or whoever has planned for changes, but basically for playable, invadable reasons, it's going to be the same.
Yeah, they're not receiving any specific love or hate, as far as I've heard. But you never know. Could see a surprise change as we come towards polishing up the last of the war.
Is that a question? Not really.
What about orcs?
Yeah, I was just reading that one now. Excuse me. Okay. With so many different kingdoms and war and conquering being inevitable, are there any changes to how occupying and controlling hostile territory will work?
No.
No. Yes. No. Yes.
I mean,
there's the
sort of.
There's. I mean, the whole reason. Click.
I know what you're talking about. It comes into play kind of with the economy system, but
That's not what I was going to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was
I can't
an
tell.
element.
Are you telling me to shut up, or are you? I can't tell.
well, it
A
depends.
little bit.
Okay, I've just posted. That's what I was going to talk about.
Oh.
The whole thing about you can't just leave your castle because something might happen while you're gone.
I think that point might be best left for an upcoming teaser. We're
Okay.
gonna have an upcoming teaser specifically concerning that point.
Okay.
But also, occupation will be at least factored into the economy system that we're working on.
Yes. But ultimately, that's really the only thing that will be adjusted is the economy system. But we don't want to make it too in depth or too like convoluted. Because ultimately, this is just a story-driven game. Ultimately, that's our goal is to get a cohesive story written by all of our players.
Yeah, and an economy system has kind of always been a bit of a Marmite feature. Some people really want it. Some people don't want anything to do with it. And
Okay.
I hope that the system that we're working on is going to strike a happy medium.
I think he was actually going for something more specific, actually, because he said it's kind of odd how every place that's been invaded just immediately switches sides to the occupants.
Well, I don't really think we've seen that. I mean, I understand like with Went taking over Harrenhal. I mean, he had a role to see if they would join them, but if you're occupying them, like for example, at the start of 6.0, Durandon is occupying some territory. That's all I'm going to say. But they're not for him, but they're not against him at the same time. They are against him, but they're not going to just rise up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you." You can't do that. They're not. No one switches sides immediately.
Yeah, they've got some kind of loyalty, but at the same time, this is still a feudal society.
Yeah.
If you're a peasant and you're sworn to House Hunter, who serves Lord Arryn, and for whatever reason you get conquered by the North in some horrible misplay, then you're not going to care much as long as Lord Hunter's still paying you.
Yeah, exactly.
The small folk themselves and the actual like troop count, if that's what the question is about, they're kind of a bit more flexible than the lords themselves might be.
Yeah, so if the Lord decides to switch to the person who's invading, then yeah, sure, the small folk will too, because ultimately, as long as they're getting their pay and they're getting their bread, they don't care. For the most part.
Yeah, very, very few peasants have an eye for the great game.
Yeah.
Okay. Will there be changes to house? Will there be changes to casualty roles and logistic works in 6.0 with so many armies moving through hostile territory?
Will there be changes to those things? Yeah, probably. Will they specifically be related to moving through hostile territory?
No.
I wouldn't say so in specifics.
There'll probably be changes indirectly to those.
Yeah.
Like through changes to other systems, those will be affected. I'm looking through one of our proposal docs right now for a little information on this.
Casualty roles is something that, as a team, we always have our eyes on. We've been making it's probably the thing that's changed the most over the course of 5.0, from where we started on like the single D4 to where we are now.
Rest in peace, Veron Greyjoy. Rest in peace, Karen Botley.
Yeah. We don't really have too much changes directly to these things, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But if you have any ideas, do send them in.
Well, of course, yeah. As I think we all try to encourage our greater community to send us their ideas so that we can say that they were our ideas all along and claim all the credit.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some great ideas. I mean, some of Derpy's stuff's been really great. I was trying to think, who else has had Andre's had some talk about something to the gifts and skills. Sneak has obviously renovated our jousting system.
Cunny has given us some suggestions as well too.
Yeah, we've had some really good feedback.
Yeah, especially from the survey. Thank you to everyone who replied to the survey. That was great. We've had some real great feedback out of that.
Uh-huh. Next question.
Will the DLC in 6.0 be similar to the Yeetie invasion in 5.0? And if so, can it be expected to see more of these massive uniting threats, or should we do it ourselves?
I'm gonna cut everyone off right here. We're going to not comment on this.
No, really. Like, if we're talking about the DLC, like as terms of like just Essos, just because it's DLC.
I think
Doesn't
he
mean
means
it's going to be one big threat.
He means a unifying threat, basically.
But
Like
there,
Wildlings
yeah,
invasion.
there won't be anything like Yeetie in 6.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be anything like ET. If there wants to be a wildling invasion, well, I mean, that's what you have wildlings for, isn't it?
But yeah, if you want to do like a massive uniting of threats, and then yeah, do it yourself. Like I think that one of the things is people need to take a bit more initiative in trying to drive a story and creating that kind of conflict.
Yeah, if you reckon you've got it in there to drive a huge threat, huge uniting thing, at least send in the idea, and maybe we can discuss something.
More magic questions. Is archery being buffed, please?
No, we are continuing in our purpose of avoiding archery as a whole, and also still keeping it called archery because, you know, other ranged weapons are just clearly inferior.
Actually,
If you're good with crossbows, then you're a skilled archer. If you're good with throwing weapons, you're a skilled archer.
You know, that's actually a good point, one chat, because I haven't even thought of archery, to be honest.
Yes, archery is definitely being considered changed.
Yeah, that's actually something we'll look into the next couple days. Thanks for reminding us.
Totally not rapidly typing away in the document.
No, not at all.
Suggestions, right?
No.
Everyone always forgets about archery. Even Damon forgot about archery. Oh look, it's an eclipse. What balances will there be to stop there from being like 50 magical people?
That's a Bryn question. Next.
Good point.
We'll just kill the edgiest ones. That's all I'll say.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Mod abuse.
Fertility buffs?
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I don't know what the question is. At what point this week will we be getting the Faith teaser?
That is most likely going to be coming sometime within this next week.
Most likely within this next week, we're going to release this weekly Faith teaser, but
So-
you never know.
Basically, soon TM.
Yep, we're hitting with a classic soon TM.
When will we see the new list of traits and skills? Well, you've got a while to go.
Yeah, in 5.0, well, in the build-up to 5.0, the skills and gifts came out about a week before we got into it. Like, as in the week before 5.0 actually started. And that's a timeline that we're probably going to get close to, if not exactly.
I agree. Because
I mean, we might talk about them, but the actual full list of everything that's changed, it's going to be it's going to be after 5.0's ended when we're ready to unleash 6.0.
we're gonna be voting on a lot of the new proposals and stuff, and mechanics and gifts and skills and all that near the end of May. However, we're still going to be adding on to that as we move on and before 6.0 starts.
Yeah, so and to that end, don't think that just because we've started voting on things towards the end of this month, you can't send in any suggestions that you have.
Of course.
We're going to be taking them on board, building up to 6.0, and even afterwards, you know, if you come up with something really great, just send it in and try to make it legible.
Are there any other major religions in Westeros besides Faith of the Seven and the Old Gods?
I can answer this one. For the most part, no. Faith of the Seven and Old Gods, they both are the faith. Those are the faiths of everyone. North is Old Gods, everyone else is faith. However, since the Valyrians of the Narrow Sea near Westeros haven't really had the push by Aegon to really like take the faith, I guess you would say, to the face. They still would, at least to some point, worship some of the old Valyrian gods, I would say. So, like the Kingdom of the Claw would most likely worship some of the old gods from Valyria.
Yeah, likely the Kingdom of the Claw in itself is going to be a bit of an amalgamation of wanting to compromise with both the actual Clawmen and the rest of Westeros.
Yeah,
In
because
terms of Fate of the Seven, but also they have those Valyrian roots.
right, Celtigar wanted to, of course, over a long period of time, have dominion over the Claw and Cracklaw Point. But to do that, they really, if you have a heretic as a liege, you're going to be rebelling a lot. So of course they have to make some compromises quite often.
Yeah, definitely. It's why Aegon converted back.
Yeah.
Way back when. It's going to be a thing now. Yeah, in terms of different religions, no, we ain't going to see no surprise Law cult.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure that someone will do it.
Yeah. But anything else about the faith and stuff, we'll see in this next faith teaser coming out soon.
That is all of the questions that we have.
Nice.
Ah, nice.
That is the end of the questions.
Do we have any closing remarks? Anything that we feel the questions haven't quite touched on?
I'm not entirely sure. Is there anything we want to tease the masses about?
The 5.0 isn't over.
No, it is not.
6.0 has been a big part of this modcast. 6.0 has been a lot of the talk. It's probably going to remain a lot of the talk. But I think it's just worth stressing that we are very much invested in the end of 5.0.
And
We wanted to have the best conclusion.
Yeah, and the climax hasn't happened yet. It's close to, but it's the big moment.
It's very close.
Yeah. So don't switch off.
Yeah, don't think the Battle of Seaman Stars was the only climax. Yeah. I think that's about it, guys.
I think it's good. That was fun.
Yeah, we've been your entire mod team for the evening.
All three of them.
Don't forget, the rest of the mod team is actually just our puppets, especially Click.
Well, I'm Click's puppet. He loves sticking his hand up my butt.
I didn't realize we were going to be getting right into the Smutcast.
And on that
He and I
note,
quite often read Seaman Stars to each other to fall asleep.
why no?
And on that bombshell,
Yeah, let's leave it there. Good night, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Good night.
good night.